Happening now, a Sherman man is facing several charges after allegedly stalking a woman by following her car. And the deal between two popular local pharmacies falls through, what it means for one slated to close. Plus, we're celebrating Maple Weekend here in Chautauqua County.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. The latest local news is coming up, but first, let's get a check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by with that as we kick off the first full day of spring.
Oh, I thought you were going to tease me for a second. You were going to be like, hi, Dakota, but you didn't say that.
Okay, hello, Dakota.
There you go. Thank you very much. So the little awkward silence there, the Findlay Lake Sky Cam showing you, blue sky for this early Monday. Happy spring. Of course, we started spring yesterday, but today, as Justin said, is the first full day of spring. The satellite and radar composite not really showing you much, but we are going to have clouds surging in through the afternoon hours, so the sun that we have will be hidden behind clouds later on this afternoon. 43 was the high yesterday. Started the day at 28.75 just 10 years ago in 2012. Broke the record, and 2 below back in 1988. The record low. So through the afternoon, partly to mostly sunny. Early this afternoon, clouds increase from mid-afternoon onward. Turns mostly cloudy for the basically for late afternoon into the evening. 46 to 54 with a northwest wind. That's why the Lake Erie shoreline is going to stay cooler because of that northwest wind. Now temperatures are going to be up and down, but it does look like we see a little bit of return to winter in that 7-day. We'll talk about it in full detail with that Ultimate Satellite Solution 7-day forecast later on in the show, Justin.
Oh, Dakota, never fun, but nevertheless, we thank you very much. A 26-year-old Sherman man is accused of stalking a woman by following her vehicle while traveling on Interstate 86 last week. New York State Police allege Andrew Graham began looking for the woman in the village of Sherman after seeing a picture on social media of her having dinner out on the town. After locating her vehicle, he allegedly followed her down several roads in Sherman and at one point drove in front of her car, forcing her to stop. That's when he, police say, exited his vehicle and struck hers, causing no damage. She then fled onto I-86, where Graham allegedly followed her once again until the two were stopped at the Findlay Lake exit by state troopers. Graham was placed under arrest, processed, and transported to Chautauqua County Jail. He faces several charges in connection with the crime. A 25-year-old Fredonia woman is facing charges after allegedly trying to cash a stolen check at a Jamestown bank this week. New York State Police investigated the alleged crime on Saturday. Troopers say Tricia Kazier tried to cash a check allegedly stolen from a residence in Farmersville in 2021. Since then, police said the account had been closed and that the bank teller denied cashing it. That's when troopers report Kazier walked out of the bank, leaving the check and her driver's license behind. Police were then able to identify her, and she was since been charged with possession of a forged instrument and criminal possession of stolen property. And Randolph's only pharmacy will likely close at the end of the month after a deal to purchase the location fell through last week. Earlier in March, Inkley's Pharmacy announced they plan to close on March 31st. However, Jamestown's Patients Pharmacy eyed expanding to Cattaraugus County by taking over the operation. Well, last Thursday, the pharmacy announced that negotiations between the owners fell through and they were not able to come to a mutually beneficial agreement with Inkley's Pharmacy. Thus, they will not be moving into that spot, and Randolph will likely lose its only brick-and-mortar pharmaceutical provider. However, Patients Pharmacy stresses that they will consider expanding delivery service there. Those interested in moving prescriptions to the downtown Jamestown provider are asked to reach out to their management by either giving them a call or checking out their website. Well, it's that time of year when maple syrup is in season, and farmers all around our region are taking advantage of weather to make sweet nectar. Our Bronson Rasmussen has more from the newsroom today.
Sugar maker Kurt Scott from Scott's Farms and Greenhouse on Route 60 in Sinclairville is just one of the local providers that are showcasing their sugar houses and the lengthy process for making the sweet liquid from sap gathered from their own trees during Maple Weekend.
We have 12,000 taps in the woods, all connected with lines. and we're on a vacuum system, so everything's sucked into the sugar house. From the sugar house, it comes down here, we pump it down, and then we go through this process of refining it down.
The sap for maple syrup is often harvested on a 40-degree and sunny day after a cold night, ranking our area among the perfect spots for making maple syrup.
Before the trees bud out, before they start growing their leaves, they flow sap up through the tree from the roots, and that's what we're harvesting.
Scott also shared some interesting information about maple syrup, like how it takes over 40 gallons to sap to make 1 gallon of syrup, among many other fun facts.
No, it never goes bad. It make crystal, it make candy, but all you got to do is boil it, and it comes right back.
If you think maple syrup is just for pancakes, Scott would likely disagree.
You can cook with it. You can replace sugar with it.
If you missed Maple Weekend, don't worry. The last weekend in March is also reserved for the Golden Sweetener. In the newsroom, Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Ah, what a tasty story, Brunson. Thank you. Well, rain did not stop those in Jamestown from taking part in a long-time tradition of changing the river green over this past weekend. For the past 20 years around St. Patrick's Day, the Chautauqua River is dyed green in honor of the Irish holiday. Kids of all ages looked on as city workers worked with the local leprechaun to make this magic possible. Jamestown is one of only a handful of cities that changes a body of water to reflect their Celtic spirit. In addition to locals, folks from all across our region gathered to take part, including Meadville resident Mike Flynn.
Either come over here or go to the St. Patrick's Day parade in Erie, and I decided since the weather wasn't too bad, I'd get over here today because I didn't want to really be over here fighting to get here in a snowstorm.
Right. I don't think anybody does, Mike. After the mid-morning festivities, leaders encouraged those visiting downtown Jamestown to head on over to a local restaurant for a taste of the area's Irish heritage, and I can tell you, it tastes delicious. As we continue this half hour, a new exhibit coming to Jamestown's National Comedy Center. And later, how students out of Warren are helping in the Ukrainian relief effort. Stay with us as WNY News Now will be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer with a day of fun activities for children in the Jamestown area. Hosted by Collaborative Children's Solutions and the City of Jamestown. The first part of the day happens at Northwest Arena, where both kids and parents alike can learn about activities available to youth. Later in the evening, finish out the night at the Tarp Skunk baseball game, along with a fireworks show at Russell Dietrich Jr. Park. Stop on down on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer.
Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Brought to you by the Chautauqua Safety Village and the Jamestown Fire Department.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A new exhibit at the National Comedy Center in Jamestown is paying homage to a late world-renowned comedian. Comedian Carl Reiner passed away in 2020, and in a continued effort to preserve his legacy, the Comedy Center is launching a new exhibit debuting on July 1st. It's called Carl Reiner Keep Laughing, which will showcase hundreds of never-before-seen archival materials spanning Reiner's 7 decades as a writer, director, producer, author, and performer. Museum visitors will be able to explore an interactive stations that features rare audiovisual clips, creative papers, photographs, and dimensional artifacts that intimately chronicle a life of creative output. Now on Sunday, which would have been Reiner's 100th birthday, the National Comedy Center released images of select artifacts and documents which will be on display in the exhibit, including Reiner's typewriter case and original typed manuscript for the first episode of Head of the Family. A Jamestown Area Nature Center is welcoming spring with a self-guided tour of their outdoor light display this weekend. The Audubon Community Nature Center is now selling tickets for their Audubon Lights display, which kicks off on Friday from 8 to 10 and continues for the next 2 weeks until April 9th. Trailside forests and ponds will glow with lasers, spotlights, rain lights, and more, lighting the trail around the Nature Center. The self-guided walks start near the parking lot and travels just under a half a mile, ending at the Nature Center building. That path goes over flat terrain, which includes a gravel road, grassy trail, and paved trail. Luminarians light the trail edges. Some of the sections are darker than others, so organizers say bringing a flashlight might be helpful. Audubon collaborated with Jamestown's Infinity Visual and Performing Arts to have original artwork lit up along the way as well. Admission is $8 for adults, $6 for Nature Center members, and children 3 to 15. Those under the age of 2 are welcome free of charge. Learn more online at audubоncnc.org. Well, students in Warren County are raising money to help refugees from Ukraine, and they got to meet some of the people that they've helped so far. Decades ago, Father Rick Tomasini of St. Joseph's in Warren County mentored a Slovakian student at Kennedy Catholic High School, coaching her basketball team. Now, over the years, they've stayed in touch, and when war broke out, Barbara Fabianov told Father Tomasin she was taking in refugees. So students and parishioners started raising money, sending Barbara more than $5,000 and raising $12,000 more to send. Students are even raising money in school as grades compete to see who can raise the most. Friday, they got the chance to meet Barbara and some of the refugees she's caring for during a video call with the entire school.
I think it's a reflection of God in our midst, and while there's a great deal of ugliness with the Russian invasion of the Ukraine, it's beautiful to know that people will be generous in giving where they can.
Now, if you'd like to help, you can send a check to St. Joseph's Parish in Warren. Just be sure to mark refugees on the subject line. Well, the images out of Ukraine are really heart-wrenching. The city of Mariupol is refusing to surrender today, even after the bombing of a building labeled in huge letters, children. The U.S. is stepping up its efforts to help. Amy Kelly reports on President Joe Biden, who is holding talks today with European leaders, and he's traveling to Brussels later this week and then to Poland.
Убивали всех людей. Это сволочи, это гады, блядь, паразиты.
Russian President Vladimir Putin seems undeterred by increasing civilian casualties in Ukraine.
This is really disgusting.
This week, the White House is expanding its efforts to help. President Joe Biden is holding a call with European leaders this morning. Then he's talking with American CEOs about the war. On Wednesday, he travels to Europe for an emergency NATO summit. He'll visit Warsaw, Poland Friday for talks with that country's president about Russia's war in Ukraine. And he's got another invitation.
Why don't he can visit Kyiv next week as a symbol of our solidarity?
The Ukrainian capital is a war zone right now, so Biden does not plan to stop there. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has his own ideas of what he'd like in the president's agenda.
What I'd like to see the president do is to reassure our Eastern Bloc allies
The Ukrainian people are begging Biden and the U.S. to offer more support. The besieged city of Mariupol refused Russia's demand to surrender today. The Ukrainian president says he's ready to talk to Putin at any time, but he's worried if talks fail.
That would mean that this is a third world war.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Amy, thank you. Around the state, New York Governor Kathy Hochul has signed legislation expanding the state's opioid settlement board from 19 members to 21. Hochul also appointed 2 women to the board. That board is responsible for helping to distribute settlement money from opioid manufacturers and distributors for prevention, treatment, and recovery programs. At least $1.5 billion in the settlement proceeds has been earmarked for New York. That settlement also includes $230 million from Johnson & Johnson and $200 million from OxyContin's maker, Purdue Pharma. Coming up, a local cheer group, they're headed to a big performance next month. A look at the practices now underway. But first, when we return, a full look at our weather forecast as some beautiful skies are engulfing our region right now. How long will that stay? We'll let you know.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you got to keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Wanted to start off with a beautiful weather eye picture that came in over the weekend. George Borello sent this picture in over Sunset Bay and the dark clouds, but also the ice melting across Lake Erie as well. Of course, with the warm temperatures, the ice is starting to go away. So if you have any pictures or videos of the weather, Hunters WX on Twitter, the First Defense weather page on Facebook, and always use that hashtag MyLocalWX. And wanted to mention this again because we have had a couple of fires, I think on Thursday, Friday, and I thought I heard of a couple over the weekend, but wanted to let you know that we still do have this burn ban that is in effect that goes all the way until May 19th. And again, the same thing we mentioned on Friday, this burn ban is not meant to cause you some sort of inconvenience. It's meant to keep everybody safe because this time of the year we have high fire danger coming out of the winter where the brush is still dry. So the message is just respect the burn ban, please and thank you. Lots of sunshine downtown from the HD News Now cam right now. We're at 47, no wind to speak of, so it's an overall nice day. Not as warm as it has been, but hey, you know what? This is around average for this time of the year, but much colder air is going to be surging in as we go throughout the end of the week. This is the NOAA 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, and where you see all this blue, that indicates cooler than average temperatures. And yeah, I do think we're going to see at least a shot of colder air coming in, or wintertime air coming in by this time next week. Nothing going on locally, but look at all the lightning strikes down across Texas and Oklahoma. Big thunderstorms down there. Severe weather issues tomorrow across the deep south, but all of that will stay south of us. So the newest run of future scans showing you the clouds thickening up through the afternoon hours. Then as we go into the evening hours, we will start to see at least a couple of rounds of scattered showers. Not everyone is going to see something, but it's going to be scattered on again, off again type of showers through the evening hours. Those will start to taper off through the overnight. Tomorrow, a small chance for a shower, but I do think we will stay mostly dry. The better chance of the rain and snow comes our way on Wednesday. Temperatures start to get a little bit colder, so we will start to see some mixed rain and snow showers, mainly Tuesday night going into Wednesday. 53 at 2 o'clock this afternoon, a good supply of sunshine. Clouds will start thickening up by 6 o'clock, 49, and then by 10 o'clock, at least a few scattered rain showers at 41. Now the next 7 days, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions, so 49 tomorrow. We're up to 50 on Wednesday. A wintry mix early, changes to all rain in the afternoon hours. Milder with a scattered shower Thursday, a pair of 5s, down to 43 on Friday with a wintry mix. 43 and falling on Saturday, likely end the day in the lower 30s. And then there it is on Sunday, Justin, 31 with a few scattered snow showers. Woof.
Yeah, winter. Not going away forever, Dakota. Thank you. Well, Pennsylvania will be celebrating its 4th annual 143 Day on Monday, May 23rd. That's according to Governor Tom Wolf, who made the announcement in honor of Fred Rogers' birthday yesterday. May 23rd is the 143rd day of 2022, and that day encourages all to show their neighbors additional kindness, generosity, and love. The tradition began in 2019. It was intended to inspire a statewide movement to honor beloved Pittsburgh native Fred Rogers. Best known for his role in the television series Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Fred Rogers continuously demonstrated compassion and kindness and embodied as what meant to be a good neighbor. Rogers used 143 as another way of saying I love you, with the numbers representing the numbers of letters in each of their words. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has signed an executive order on fire safety yesterday, more than 2 months after a fatal fire at a Bronx apartment building left 17 people dead. The executive order is designed to enhance fire safety enforcement, outreach efforts to educate New Yorkers, and identify safety violations. Adams announced that in a news release. The Bronx fire started when a space heater malfunctioned in a third-floor duplex, city officials have said. The self-closing front door of the unit failed to close, according to fire officials. The fire-fueled smoke spread upwards to the 15th floor, where another door failed to close automatically. All 17 victims, who included 8 children, died of smoke inhalation. It was one of the deadliest fires in that city's history. A historic round of hearings begins on Capitol Hill today. The Senate Judiciary Committee considering the nomination of Kajina Brown Jackson to serve as the first black woman on the U.S. Supreme Court. Karen Kafa has a preview from Washington.
When President Biden nominated the first black woman to the Supreme Court last month, Ketanji Brown Jackson gave a nod to another trailblazer.
Today, I proudly stand on Judge Motley's shoulders, sharing not only her birthday, but also her steadfast and courageous commitment to equal justice.
Jackson referenced Constance Baker Motley, the first black woman to serve as a federal judge. Now Jackson is poised to inspire another generation of black women in law and shape the nation's highest court.
For too long, our government, our courts, haven't looked like America.
Republicans aren't expected to make Jackson's Supreme Court hearings too messy. The court will still have a 6-3 conservative majority after Jackson takes her seat. But some areas of her legal career could draw scrutiny.
It'll be a respectful, deep dive into her record, which I think is entirely appropriate for a lifetime appointment.
As Jackson has made the rounds on Capitol Hill, GOP senators have indicated her time as a public defender will be one of those areas, including work representing detainees at the U.S. military prison at Guantanamo Bay, and her views on the role of race in the U.S. criminal justice system. Democrats will emphasize Jackson's credentials and character at a groundbreaking moment.
This is her fourth time before the Senate Judiciary Committee, and 3 previous times she came through with flying colors.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Visit the Northwest Arena on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. Learn about activities available to youth in the Jamestown area, plus end the night with fireworks at the Tarp Skunks game. Learn more online at ccsolutions716.com.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking, let's go. You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A Jamestown area cheer team is getting ready for a big performance next month. Our Julia Gress shares their story.
It's a lot of conditioning, a lot of extra work that we do on the side to make a routine happen. They perform for 2 minutes and 30 seconds with a lot of different stunts and tumbling technique. They also practice like double time, so they're practicing 2 hours for 2 days.
Samantha Robinson, owner and head coach of Explosion All-Stars, is preparing her team for the big final competition in Orlando, Florida at the end of April. The team has been competing with the routine for 3 months, but are currently working to clean it up for the championship. Their final competition before the big event took place last weekend in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where the whole group traveled.
The biggest thing that we've learned to do, which helps them a lot, is our circle. We call it mat talk. And they perform their stunts in the middle, and then everybody cheers them on as an encouragement, and we've seen a lot of improvement.
Robinson has a total of 10 teams, with ages ranging from 3 to 18 years old.
Next weekend, we have an open house. It is Sunday, right here in our gym on 2435 Faulkner-Frewsburg Road. And on top of our competition teams, we also have a lot of different classes and tumbling classes that the community can take as well.
Carissa DePasquale, who has been with the group for 6 years, outlined the hard work that goes into the event.
A lot of practices, a lot of conditioning, a lot of repeating, doing the same things, just so that you make sure you don't do it wrong on the mat.
During the pandemic, the team was forced to switch to virtual competitions. Now they get to travel the farthest they've ever been.
The farthest we've gone is Ocean City, and so this is really the farthest, and it's a really big competition, and it's so good to be out and go into real competitions instead of virtual competitions.
Though it keeps her schedule busy, Carissa says that the family she has made along the way makes all the tough days worth it. Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
All right, Julia, thank you. I'm tired just watching that. Any community members looking to support the groups can head over to their Facebook page to give them a word of encouragement or participate in a local gift card raffle, which, Dakota, they tell us really makes all the difference in trying to help fund their travels. So it's so cool. I can't believe the flips and things they're doing, and they make it look easy. They really
Wait a minute,
do.
let's see. 1, 2, 3.
I don't know if I can lift my leg up that high, but it's so cool. And Talk
I
about
give
kids
props
doing
to
the right
those
thing.
people because, I mean, you know, let's face it. I mean, you know, that stuff is hard because, I mean, you know, you have to be physically fit. You have to go through all the training to do it. And it's like, that's something I can't do.
No, they're definitely an athlete. Like, no doubt about it, watching them do that. And just seeing the sort of repetition that they have to do, right? They do their, when they practice throughout the week, over and over and over to make it perfect. And certainly,
I almost gave myself a Charlie horse with that little demonstration.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. Hopefully, you are having a great day wherever you are. We'll leave you with this live look over Chautauqua Lake. Enjoy it. We'll see you back here tomorrow.